everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting and fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker dinghy build series. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. Alright, so I think we left off last with I had put some another coat of clear epoxy on the rails and along some of these fillets here along the edges. So I've got that all sanded. I've got the boat all prepped. I wiped it down earlier with the dewaxer, the total boat dewaxer stuff. I cleaned up in here a little bit. I did quite a bit of vacuuming, so I've gotten rid of a lot of the dust on the floor and cleaned up, did some general cleanup. Now the other thing we'd been working on was the varnish on the rudder cheek assembly. I did finally get some other stuff to try, and we'll get to that, but the temperature right now is 66 degrees. Humidity is a little bit high, but I can live with that, I think. The only problem is that it is 9:30 at night and it's past my bedtime. But because of the temperatures and the fact that I want to get 2 coats on the boat on the outside here, the way I've decided to do this is to do it at night. So instead of trying to get up early in the morning and then beat the temperature before it gets too hot to really have any working time at all, I decided I'll do it at night, where now tonight is one of the first nights it's cooled down, and so I'll be able to put the first coat of epoxy on. I'll come back 3 to 4 hours later and put the second coat on, and we'll see how that turns out. Now, I did look at the Maz Epoxy website, and the FAQs kind of leads you to that tells you can do a hot recoat of the epoxy before it gets tacky, while it's still tacky, that is, and that it should be tack free within 5 hours. So that kind of leads me to my 3 to 4 hour window. I looked in the manual, the manual for the boat, and there they talk about doing it within 6 to 8 hours. So I'm not sure which way to go, which is right, but I'm going with the Maz FAQs that says to recoat it while it's still tacky, and then it should be tack free within 5 hours. So I'm going to shoot for 3 to 4 hours, and we'll do a second recoat. The other thing that I did realize when I was looking for that information on their website was that doing a clear coat like this probably would have been better with their flag epoxy, not their low viscosity epoxy resin, the LV. The LV is more meant for working with composites, fiberglass, and that kind of stuff, and fillers, whereas their flag is meant more for a clear coating and has less sag and some better properties. So I still may get some of that in when I do the inside. We may use it there, but we'll go ahead and use this for the outside and see how that turns out. So I think we're all caught up. The other thing is I'm not sure we're going to get a video out this Monday. So this is what's this, a Saturday night. We had some weather before this, and like 3 or 4 days of bad weather, and some other distractions kept me from getting back out here until just now. So until just today, is in fact. So anyways, we'll see what we can do, and we'll get at it. So let me get you set up. I'll show you some of this. I'm not sure if I'll do a time lapse or I'll cut in or whatever we'll do, but we'll get the first coat on this here, get this going. All right then, so to be doing most of it, I'm going to be using this the small, I think it's 4-inch roller, and it's got a 3/8" nap roller cover on here. So I'll use this for the first coat. For the second coat, I've got a 1/4" nap roller that I'll be using. So I want to get a real good thick coat on the first one, and then we'll smooth it out with the second one. So I got the tray already here, and the epoxy is just about mixed up, I think. Yep. and we'll get this show on the road. All right, so I'm going to start at the back here and work my way forward along each side since I don't have a lot of room here. So I'll start here in the back, and like I said, I'll work my way up along the sides here and then come back and do this side over here, and hopefully we can get a decent coat of epoxy on here without too much problem. Especially on this back piece here, I want to use my little light here to get a good look at it. Sure I've got it pretty even and make sure I've got a pretty good coat. It also shows me if I missed any spots. I'm going to use the brush a little bit here too. I don't know. I'm going to roll and tip the whole thing or not. I think this first coat I'm not. We'll see how the second coat goes on. I just realized I never went back and rounded over the corners of the rub rail. I'm gonna keep on epoxying them. maybe if I epoxy them first and then round them over later, it'll be better. I don't know. Anyways, let's. All right, time for another batch of epoxy already. All right, fresh batch of epoxy. I've been doing 15 pumps on both of these batches so far, so I think I'll probably end up having to do another small one here pretty soon once we get to the other side. All right, now I just got this side to do, and we can call it quits. So it's taking me about 45 minutes. So I figured it'd take me about an hour to do all of this. So I think we're pretty close to that. Alright, just a little bit short on the epoxy. I'll need to make up a small batch here to finish this up. Alrighty then, I think that's going to do it for this first coat. So it took me, it did take me about an hour. So I guess it's about what I figured. And probably wait 3 hours and come back out and do it again. Alright then, it's been a little bit over 3 hours now, and yeah, so I've got the different roller. This has got a 1/4 inch nap on it, a little bit smaller. So I've got the epoxy mixed up. I'm going to try the aluminum foil and the tray trick to see if we can not have to keep buying trays. This is going to be a little bit trickier because I don't want to be rubbing up against it. I think I've got a butt print over here somewhere from backing into the boat, but we'll keep on cranking here, and hopefully we won't have too many butt prints on the boat. Boy, it's going to be a lot harder to see what I've already done. In fact, it's going to be almost impossible. This darn roller is lumpy. Almost thinking I need to get out my other rollers before I go too much farther here. Yep, not happy with this at all. Alright, gonna try the bigger roller that I've cut. Hopefully it fits in this tray, which it doesn't. Sure is a lot smoother. Except it leaves a, geez, what a mess. What a mess. Good grief. This is, I think this is why I ended up in here in the first place. Because this leaves kind of a rough surface. What the hell? Alright, I had some extra of the 1/4-inch nap rollers, and these look different than the one that came on the frame. And the aluminum foil works pretty good in here as long as you don't get a tear in it. Which is, yep, what I did. Yeah, this one's lumpy too, but it's giving me a better texture than that big one. So we're going to go with this. Well, I just got to keep telling myself that most of this will be painted anyways. And I'll have to sand it down. I think the primer sealer stuff that I'm going to use is calls for 80 grit. If this starts shedding, I'm gonna have a cow. I think it is. This is shedding. Son of a biscuit. Is it really shedding, or is it just me? Yep, it's shedding. All right. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All paints and adhesives. Whiz applicators. Whiz applicators. Down. Crap. El crapple. Alright, so we're going to switch to... I don't like the big rollers I got. I decided that. I don't like a lot of things right now. Alright, I had another one of these bigger rollers, but this has got more of a nap on it. So I think it's got a 1/4-inch nap on it, so let's see how this works. Of course, I've used up all my epoxy, and yep, so we're going to make up some more epoxy here real quick. Get rid of the stupid aluminum foil. In fact, I think I'm going to switch over to the other tray too. Still giving me that darn texture. Alright, I got a pretty nice paintbrush here. It's probably not going to work either, but I want to try it. Got droppings from that one roller stuck in there, but I think otherwise this is going to take a while. And more epoxy mix up. All right, well, one good thing about using this brush is that the bristles don't come out. Not getting the mess that I was getting before with the cheap brushes. I've probably had this brush sitting in a toolbox for quite a few years, so I guess using it now for this isn't really going to upset me. And I know I'm going to be using way more epoxy than I would be if I was rolling it, but I think I'll be much happier with the finish and hopefully less sanding and less follow-up work on it. It's all theoretical, but we'll see. Oops, sorry. Some YouTuber I am. Of course, it is 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, and I'm out here trying to get a coat of epoxy on this boat, so you'll have to forgive me. Well, this kind of sucks. I just noticed I'm seeing a lot of sags here, probably because I'm putting it on too thick with the brush. Just shoot me now. Yeah, these more vertical pieces are going to take some work. Quite a bit of sagging going on. Perfect. Let me just finish up this top part here. And this batch of epoxy is already kicking. It's been probably been 40 minutes. Not happy at all. However far this epoxy gets me is what we're going to be done with. The other problem I'm running into now is it's taking me so much more longer. Listen to me. It's taken so much longer now that the first coat is starting to get to the point where I don't think, I don't know, seems like it's going on a little bit rougher. And sags all over the place. All right, then I think at least it's shiny now. May have some sags and other imperfections here and there, but at least it's shiny. I guess that's the good thing. So I think I'll finish up here and go to bed. And we'll come out and take a look at this tomorrow. I will be, I think I'm going to go ahead and order some of that Moz Epoxy Flag resin. And we'll give that a shot instead of this stuff. Also, I'm going to look and see what they sell for rollers, because we still got to do the inside. So that'll be fun. All right then. Well, it's actually so it'll be a day and a half. Yeah. So the staying up late to do this work really wiped me out the next day. So this is a day and a half after the big epoxy job here. Now I'm not real happy with this, but I'm okay with it, I guess. I see quite a few spots where we've got some sagging. Not sure how it's going to come out on the camera. Let's see if I can get the angle right here. You can see, yeah, right. You kind of see here, there's quite a bit of sagging. There's another one up here, and then a kind of a rough surface in a couple spots. The side that I was able to do a pretty decent job on, the kind of a tip and roll method, is a lot better than the one where I started running out of time. On this side, it's a lot rougher and spots. But anyway, so I'm okay with this the way it is. I went back and looked again. The epoxy primer that I'm going to put down on the bottom here requires 80 grit sand over the whole thing before you put the primer down. So I'm okay with how that turned out. My plan has been to paint everything from on the bottom of the boat up to this last plank here, and I was going to leave this last plank and top clear finished. I think I still am going to do that. It'll just require a little bit more work on this last plank here to put a clear finish on it. So for now, I'm calling the bottom of the boat done. So I think we're good there. So the next thing I'll have to do is we'll flip it over and get working on the inside. We had quite a bit of work to do there. So that'll be the next major job. But first I wanted to come back to the finish here. Oh, before I do that though, yeah, so one of the main problems that I had when doing this was I only had one of these guys. So today I went and picked up another one of these guys. This Wooster Pro, when I used it for the first coat, was actually pretty good. The problem is I didn't get any refills for it. So now I've got refills for it, and there are, I got these at Home Depot, and you gotta be careful because they have the same size, but it's not, it's knitted, so it'll say knitted here instead of woven. And also it'll say, it won't say that it's good for epoxy. So now I've got another one here, and actually I found, so it's got both the 3/8 inch nap and the 1/4 inch nap for use with epoxies on this guy. So this is what I'll be using for when we do the inside of the boat. We do have to do quite a bit of epoxy finish on the inside of the boat. So that's what I'll be using there. I think I bought these at Lowe's. This Whiz applicators. Nope, in the garbage it goes. And so that, I think if I had that Wooster Pro, I think to do the second coat with, I think it would have gone a lot better. And also I've got the Flag epoxy on order instead of the LV Maz epoxy. I've got a 1/2 gallon of the Flag epoxy, the same system, just a different resin. I've got that on order, so hopefully that'll get here this week. But in the meantime, like I said, I want to get back to this, doing this rudder cheek assembly, and I'm still experimenting with varnishes. So what I used before, I don't even know if I've got it out here. Where'd I put that stuff? Huh. Oh yeah, the Total Boat Marine Wood Finish. Yeah, so this is what we tried first, and not something that I want to try to figure out how to use right yet. So anyways, I went on the opposite spectrum of that, and now I've got this Bristol finish. This is a clear UV finish with, it's a two-part deal here. So it's 1:8 ratio, so 1 part catalyst to 8 parts of this finish. Now this is a pretty technical this is kind of a pretty technical kind of system here. I did look online, and there are some not great reviews on this, but all of the reviews that I saw were putting it over bare wood. The ones I saw that were poor were putting it over bare wood. So I think that, but putting it over the epoxy something that's been coated with epoxy, I think this is going to work pretty darn good. And the other problem that I see with it is that it wants at least 6 coats in order to do to get the a minimum of 6 coats. So it does have a way to do it here. The instructions, it's got a wet on wet method. So you put the first coat on, allow it to dry to a firm tack, 1 to 2 hours, apply the second coat without sanding, and continue until you get all the coats applied. This would be really good for when I do a big, if I do quite a bit of this, you could work your way along and have 15-20 minutes in between when you stopped, and you can start back on this. The small piece like this that I'm going to experiment on, it'll just be something I'll just keep doing throughout the day. Now this rudder cheek assembly, when I had done the first coat on the boat, I went ahead and just put another light coat of epoxy on here. So I do need to get this smoothed out and sanded down. I'm going to use the scrapers on this to see how that works. I did it on the boat a little bit. I want to use the scrapers on this rudder cheek assembly here. I really think those scrapers give you a really smooth finish. I don't know, probably comparable from just a little bit I did to like a 400 grit finish on the surface when you're done. So those scrapers really give you a really good smooth finish. So let's go ahead and work on that a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and start. I'm not sure if we're going to get it today or not. I did get a little bit of a late start, so 6 coats, call it, so 3. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to start this day. This might be a tomorrow project. But anyways, let me go ahead and get this prepped, and we'll see what other trouble we get into. All right then. So this is the cabinet scraper, card scraper. I just got these. I got a set of them on Amazon. They're not that expensive. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube on how to use them and then how to sharpen them. Hopefully I'd never have to sharpen these, but we'll see. Anyways, a lot of the videos you'll see that says to when you're using these, to put a little bit of a bend in them, and then press it through this way, and then make sure you're doing nice smooth passes on the whole thing. So anyways, this cover epoxy worked pretty good, except for up here there's a little bit of a spot, and then down here I'll probably actually end up sanding some of this down here with probably some 220 grit sandpaper. But anyways, let's go ahead and see how this works. The angle you hold it at seems to be important too. I've got this clamp in place here to give me something to push against. So that might help a little better. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Seems like that got quite a bit done, but I think I'm going to finish it up at this point with just some 220 grit sandpaper on my orbital sander, and then do some hand sanding here. So you see me do plenty of that. But I think, yeah, so I think this card scraper would be real good on bigger things. Having problem keeping it in one place here, the smaller piece. I need one of those workbenches that has the dogs on it, that lets you keep it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Yeah, it moves around too much to get a real good finish on it here. But I think this is probably at the level that just a quick pass over with some 220 grit sandpaper, even on by hand, would probably finish this off real nice. So let me do that, and then we'll go ahead and figure out what else we're going to do, since I don't want to get into this Bristol finish quite yet today. So yeah, so let me go ahead and finish this off, and we'll see what other trouble we get into. All right, I was all ready to get out here this morning and do some experimental varnishing on this guy, and when I looked at went back over the instructions again, and we got catalyst has a shelf life variable once open, not guaranteed. So I had been thinking I'd just do this as I had time in between epoxying windows, and so I think I've changed my mind. This is very variable once open. So is that days, weeks, months, years? What the heck is it? So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I should be focusing on doing the epoxy and having the boat all ready for doing the epoxying that I need to get done when the weather opens up, and not try to multitask too much here. So I did go ahead and raised up the front here of the boat, extended the sawhorse legs, and I've got, especially on the front here, I got this whole epoxy seam to clean up, and clean up a few other spots to get ready to do some epoxying here on the inside of the boat. And it's actually all the way, the only really decent spot is the one here in the middle. I think I've got this pretty much done and ready, and then I've got the back to do also. So I've got quite a bit of work under here to do to get ready for epoxying, so I think that's what I'm going to do. If you remember, when way back when they actually had you only do these first two planks in epoxy with the fiberglass on the floor, I'm covering the whole thing with epoxy. I think that's just the right way to do it here, and not have to worry about it later on. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, is get everything all prepped for the inside to do epoxying. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do it upside down or flip it over. I think this upside down might actually be better for my back. So I think we'll give this a try. I need to raise up the back section here, the legs on the back section, to give me a little bit more height back there. But I'll work on the front, work my way back, probably for the next couple days. So we'll pause here and see how I do. All right, then. I spent a pretty good chunk of the morning here cleaning up the edges here and doing some general cleanup on the whole thing. It went pretty good. Used this multi-tool here, this oscillating multi-tool with a sanding pad on it. That worked pretty good. Used the scrapers, my Dremel tool, regular sander, all kinds of fun. So I think, and I realized that doing this upside down like this, the dust falls down, so it keeps the work surface a lot freer of dust. So it was pretty wasn't too bad at doing it. I did clean up, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but I cleaned up smoothed these guys up pretty good so that they're flush this way. You remember when we put these in, they were proud a little bit, so I've cleaned up both sides pretty good. So I think that works. Yeah. So just by extending the legs on my sawhorse here gives me quite a bit of room to work under here. Actually, it's a nice upper body workout, but it's not too bad. I was having problems now though, that with the front seat and the back seat in now, that makes the boat quite a bit heavier. It's surprising. It put it right at the edge where I was having problems, so I had decided, I don't know, a couple days ago, maybe last week, to do something about that. So let me show you what we got here. So I've got block and tackle now. And so I've got I got these soft loops here. There's loops on each end of this going to this block and tackle, and I've got a this is actually a pipe holder up here over this 2x4 with a shackle that comes with the block and tackle. Comes in the kit, so I've got that all set up. I had to go with a adjustable one here in order to get this loop around it, but seems to be working pretty good. And then on the other end here, I've just got a eye hook and a cam cleat kind of thing here that seems to work pretty good. So yep, I got this one at the front, and then I've got two in the back here. And the two in the back here, I think, are going to help me when I go to turn the boat. So I'll probably lower this side all the way down, bring this side all the way up to get it pretty close to vertical, and then I'll tie it off with ratchet straps, and then move this one here over to this one, and then be able to flip it over, and I should be good on the front. But I'll probably record that because that could be pretty handy. I'm not going to depend on these guys for supporting the boat, especially when I'm working under it. So don't worry about that. I've got it stationed on, I've got it positioned on sawhorses. This back one, there was no way I was going to be able to get this the legs extended without using this block and tackle in the back here. But anyways, I think this is going to help quite a bit. I was noticing when I actually had turned it over from putting the seats in, it was pretty tough, and I was starting to worry about scratching up my rub rail here and the side of the boat. So I think this will help me preserve the boat a little bit and make it a little bit easier. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this video and get it up tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Going forward, I may try to get back on the Monday schedule, but if I don't, I'm just going to, when I get enough footage and do enough stuff, I'm going to post the video. So you want to make sure you hit that notification bell, or make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're wanting to see when the next episode is. Like I said, I probably will try to get back on the Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time schedule, but it's going to be hit and miss here with the weather and how everything goes. And yeah, so I think we're making good progress. I've still got quite a bit of work to do on cleaning up the back around the back seat area, and get that ready to put in the fillets. That'll be the next big thing. We'll be putting in the fillets around the seats and cleaning that up, and then epoxying on the inside will be the next big task. So anyways, I wanted to say thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me, and please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.